Right after her C-section, Anna gets abandoned by her husband and mother-in-law at the hospital. C-section isn't real childbirth. The mind-blowing words from her ruthless husband. While Anna suffers in excruciating pain after surgery, her husband forces her to cook for guests, and her mother-in-law shows no mercy with her cruel words. But when Anna collapses from exhaustion, a mysterious woman enters and completely changes everything. Enigmatic figure? An explosive confrontation and an earth-shattering decision awaits. And before we continue, write in the comments from which country you're watching the video, and also check if you're subscribed to the channel, as I share interesting life stories with you every day. Okay, let's enjoy the story. Anna was discharged from the maternity hospital. After the C-section, she felt like a squeezed lemon. Every movement sent pain shooting through her abdomen, and her head buzzed with exhaustion. She dreamed of just one thing: getting home, taking a shower, and sleeping for at least a couple of hours. But reality, as it often is, was far from her dreams. David didn't come to pick her up. Anna, sorry, buried in work. Can't get away at all. His indifferent voice echoed through the phone. Just grab a taxi, you'll make it somehow? Somehow. Those words echoed in her head. Somehow, after a tough operation with a newborn baby, somehow get home. A lump of resentment rose in her throat, but she had no strength to argue. She was just exhausted. Leaving the hospital, Anna scanned for a taxi. The day was unusually sunny, but that light felt alien to her, like it was meant for someone else, not her. Weary and worn out, finally catching a cab, she settled into the back seat, trying to get comfortable to avoid jostling the stitches. She stayed silent the whole ride, staring out the window at the flashing city landscapes. Thoughts swirled in her mind. Why didn't he come? Doesn't he care? Pulling up to the house, Anna paid the driver and struggled out of the car, heading to the entrance. Riding the elevator to her floor, she pulled out her key and opened the door. Silence and dimness greeted her. The apartment was a mess: scattered things, dirty dishes in the sink, dust on the furniture. Home. Sweet home, she thought with bitter irony. In the living room, she saw Victoria, her mother-in-law. She sat in an armchair in front of the television, paying no attention to the newcomer. "Oh, it's you finally?" she grumbled, not tearing her eyes from the screen. "What took so long? I thought you'd only get here by evening." Anna silently went to the nursery, laid the baby in the crib, and sat on the edge, watching his peaceful sleep. He was so small and defenseless. And right now, she felt just like him. She wanted to lie down beside him and sleep, forgetting everything, but her dreams weren't meant to be. Victoria's voice carried from the living room. "Anna, what are you stuck there for? I have guests coming today. Need to set the table. Come on, get moving." Anna closed her eyes, trying to steady the tremor in her body. Guests, table. Right now, she felt like she might faint any second. Gathering her remaining strength, she left the nursery and headed to the living room. "Victoria, maybe the guests can wait. I just got home. I could use a little rest," she asked timidly. Her mother-in-law shot her a contemptuous look. Rest, she wants. And who's going to set the table? Me? You're young, healthy, stop pretending to be sick. Cesarean? That's not childbirth. Big deal, you lay in the hospital. Everyone does it. No one dies. Those words hit like a slap in the face. Anna felt tears welling up in her eyes. "But it's hard for me," she whispered. "Hard for her? And it's easy for me? I'm spinning here like a squirrel in a wheel. David's at work, and all you do is lie around and whine. You should be thanking me for helping you." Helping? Anna mentally smirked. Victoria's help consisted of constant reproaches and nitpicking. She never praised Anna. Always found something to complain about. She didn't like how Anna cooked, cleaned, or raised the child. She thought Anna was good for nothing, and that she was lucky David married her. "Guests are coming soon," Victoria continued. "So get to it. No sitting around. Salads, appetizers, hot dishes, everything on the table. And don't forget my favorite Napoleon cake. And make it all look nice, like in a restaurant. Got it?" Anna nodded, unable to say a word. She felt cornered, like her will had been broken, turning her into a lifeless puppet. She trudged to the kitchen, barely moving her legs. The pain in her abdomen grew with each step. She wanted to scream, cry, run away, but she knew it was pointless. She was trapped, with no way out. Suddenly, loud laughter echoed from the hallway. It was David returning. Anna froze, hoping he'd stand up for her, say a few sharp words to his mother. But her hopes were dashed. David entered the kitchen, hugged his mom, and without even glancing at Anna, asked, "Mom, so, everything ready for the guests soon?" "Yeah, Anna just got here. She'll start cooking now," Victoria replied. David looked at Anna as if seeing her for the first time. "Oh, it's you? Why so sour? You gave birth. Enough already, now get to work." "Cesarean. That's not even real childbirth. Just nonsense. I have to slave away at work, and you sit at home doing nothing." Anna couldn't take it. Tears streamed down her cheeks. "David, how can you say that? It hurts. I'm tired." "Tired," she says. "And I'm not tired? I get tired too, but no one pities me. Better think about setting the table instead of blubbering." Anna turned away, trying to hold back sobs. She felt utterly alone and helpless. Her husband, her closest person, didn't understand her, didn't support her. It felt like she'd fallen into a nightmare with no escape. "Why are you bawling like a whale?" Victoria said irritably. "Tears won't help. Go cook, or the guests will arrive and nothing's ready." Anna silently wiped her tears and got to work. She chopped vegetables, boiled soup, fried meat, ignoring the pain and fatigue. She felt like a robot executing a program. Her mind was blank, with only one wish: for this to end soon. Fragments of memories from her pregnancy flashed in her head. How she went to doctors alone. How David was always busy with important things. How Victoria droned on, "You'll give birth, it'll pass, you'll be happy." Anna didn't feel happy yet, just exhaustion, pain, and an all-consuming emptiness. She tried to remember the last time she felt truly happy. It seemed like it was before the wedding, when she worked in the library and dreamed of the future. Back then, everything felt possible. Now, she felt backed into a corner. "Don't forget to slice the sausage nicely." Victoria's voice yanked her from her thoughts. "So the guests enjoy looking at it, and dress the salad with fattier mayo. Tastier that way." Anna nodded silently and pulled the semi-smoked sausage from the fridge. Cutting it was hard, her hands shook, and the slices came out uneven. She tried her best, but Victoria hovered, criticizing every move. "What are you? Like a sleepy fly. Faster, the guests won't wait," Victoria lectured. Anna felt a lump rising in her throat. Tears burned her eyes, but she held them back, fearing to anger her mother-in-law. She knew if she cried, Victoria would yell and accuse her of ingratitude. At that moment, David stepped out to the balcony. He laughed cheerfully, talking on the phone with his brother. His voice carried to the kitchen, and Anna couldn't help listening. "Yeah, imagine. The birth was tough, C-section. But whatever, she managed," David said. "Main thing. Now we have a son, the rest is minor stuff." Anna felt her heart clench in pain. Minor stuff. To him, her suffering, her pain, her exhaustion, just minor stuff. He hadn't even asked how she felt. All that mattered to him was having a son. She looked at the half-sliced sausage, the pile of dirty dishes, Victoria's angry face, and felt she couldn't take it anymore. She couldn't endure, couldn't stay silent, couldn't pretend everything was fine. Anna set down the knife and covered her face with her hands. The tears she'd held back so long flooded out. She sobbed uncontrollably. "What are you doing?" Victoria shouted. "Why the crying? Guests are coming soon." Anna said nothing. She just stood and cried, her body shaking with sobs. It felt like she was drowning in an ocean of despair, and no one could help. Suddenly, a sharp pain hit her lower abdomen. She grabbed the table, trying to stay on her feet. The pain was so intense, she lost consciousness and slid to the floor. Victoria screamed in fright. David, hearing his mother's cry, dropped the phone and rushed into the kitchen. He saw Anna on the floor and froze for a second. "What happened?" he asked, looking at his mom. "How should I know?" Victoria snapped. "Probably got too worked up. I told her not to cry." David approached Anna and tried to lift her, but she was too weak to move. He looked at her pale face and got scared. "Mom, should we call an ambulance?" he asked. "Why panic?" Victoria brushed it off. "She'll come to just let her lie a bit." David hesitated. He saw Anna was in bad shape but didn't know what to do. He was used to obeying his mother in everything. Now he waited for her orders. Anna lay on the floor, feeling her strength fade. She heard David and Victoria's voices but couldn't make out the words. It felt like she was dying. At that moment, there was a knock at the door. Victoria frowned in annoyance. "Who's that now?" she grumbled. "Guests aren't due yet." She went to open the door, sure it was a neighbor, but when she did, she froze in surprise. On the threshold stood Rebecca, Anna's mother. She'd arrived a day early without warning anyone. Rebecca looked closely at Victoria, then shifted her gaze to the kitchen. She saw Anna on the floor, David standing over her in confusion, and the mountain of dirty dishes on the table. She immediately knew something was wrong. She entered the kitchen without a word. Her gaze was firm and determined. She approached Anna, knelt down, and took her hand. "Sweetheart, what's wrong with you?" she asked, looking into Anna's eyes. Anna struggled to open her eyes and saw her mom. Mom, her strong, reliable mom. Tears rolled down her cheeks again. She couldn't speak, but her eyes said it all. Rebecca understood everything. She looked at David and Victoria with such contempt that they involuntarily stepped back. Rebecca, a Russian language and literature teacher with 30 years of experience, had a gaze that pierced the soul. Now, that gaze was especially sharp, probing. She immediately noticed her daughter's pallor, sunken eyes, reddened eyelids from tears. She saw her trembling hands, smelled the burnt odor from the kitchen. "Sit down, I'll handle it," Rebecca said in a firm voice. There was such strength and confidence in that voice that even Victoria, used to bossing everyone around, didn't dare argue. "Oh, and who's this visiting us?" Victoria said, but irritation seeped into her voice. "Rebecca, what brings you? We expected you tomorrow." Rebecca turned to her, and Victoria stepped back involuntarily. Rebecca's gaze was cold and hard as winter ice. "I came for my daughter," Rebecca replied calmly, "and I see I arrived just in time." She turned her gaze back to Anna. "Sit, Annie," she said softly. "Sit and rest. I'll take over from here." Anna obediently sank onto the couch. Just from her mother's voice, she felt better. It was like an invisible someone lifted a huge weight from her shoulders. She felt tears welling up again. But this time, they were tears of relief. The kitchen reeked of burnt food. Rebecca opened the window to air it out. Then she went to the stove and turned off the burner. She saw the pot with burnt buckwheat, dirty dishes in the sink, food scraps on the table. Everything screamed of chaos and total neglect. She turned to Victoria, who stood in the kitchen doorway with arms crossed over her chest. "What's going on here, Victoria?" Rebecca asked. Her voice was quiet, but it held a steel grip. "What's going on?" Victoria exclaimed indignantly. "Anna just went through childbirth. That's what's going on. She needs rest now, but she invited guests." "But what is she like?" "Just like her mother." Rebecca looked closely at Victoria. She saw right through her bossiness, her selfishness, her need to control everything. "Anna just had a C-section," Rebecca said. "That's a serious operation. She needs peace, care, and proper nutrition. Instead, I see chaos and complete indifference here." "What indifference?" Victoria cried. "We do everything for her. David works to provide for the family, and I help with the household." "Help?" Rebecca asked ironically. "It looks like your help is loading her with even more work." At that moment, David decided to intervene. "Mom, why are you starting this?" he said discontentedly. "Everything's fine. Anna's just a bit tired." Rebecca turned to him. David, she said. Her voice was full of disappointment. Do you even understand what happened? You became a father. You have a son now. And you're acting like a child, hiding behind his mother's skirt. David blushed. I work, he repeated. I have to provide for the family. Providing for the family isn't just earning money, Rebecca replied. It's also caring for your loved ones, supporting them, helping them. And what are you doing? You're dumping all the responsibility on Anna and your mother. Rebecca stepped right up to David and looked him straight in the eyes. You need to be a man, David, she said. You need to take responsibility for your family, or you'll lose it. David lowered his eyes. He couldn't hold Rebecca's gaze. He knew she was right. He knew he was acting like a coward. Rebecca turned to Victoria. I'm taking Anna and my grandson home with me, she said firmly. She doesn't belong here. Victoria tried to object, but Rebecca cut her off. Don't bother, Victoria, she said. I've decided. Anna will stay with me until she recovers. Then she'll decide what to do next. She approached Anna, who sat on the couch. Get ready, Annie, Rebecca said softly. We're going home. Anna lifted her tear-stained eyes to her. Mom, she whispered. Everything will be fine, sweetheart, Rebecca replied. I promise. David tried to mumble something in his defense, but Rebecca raised her hand, stopping him. Don't waste words. Actions speak louder than words, and your actions say you're a selfish person who thinks only of himself. Victoria tried to defend her son. Rebecca, don't talk like that. David gets tired at work. He tries. Tries, Rebecca smirked. Tries to ignore his wife's pain and exhaustion. That's what you call trying. Rebecca turned to Anna, who stood pressed against the wall like a small animal cornered. Annie, sweetheart, come with me. You don't belong here. David tried to stop them. Mom, tell her she can't take Anna. We're a family. Rebecca looked at him like an unreasonable child. Family is when people care for each other, support each other, not exploit and humiliate. What I see here isn't a family, it's a prison. And I won't let my daughter stay here. She turned back to Anna and took her hand. Pack your things. You and the baby are coming with me. Anna looked at her mother. Tears stood in her eyes. She felt completely broken and empty, but at the same time, she felt a surge of hope. Hope that things could be different. Hope that she wasn't alone. Victoria tried to stop them. Where are you taking her? She should be here. This is her home. Rebecca looked at her with contempt. Home is where you're loved and valued. Here, she's nothing. You've lost her. Rebecca started gathering Anna's and the child's things. David and Victoria stood stunned, not knowing what to do. They were used to Anna always staying silent and obeying. They hadn't expected such resistance. Anna mechanically packed essentials into a bag. She still couldn't believe what was happening. It felt like a dream. But it wasn't a dream. It was reality, a reality where her mother had come to her rescue. When everything was ready, Rebecca picked up the baby, and Anna took the bag. They headed to the door. Goodbye, Rebecca said, looking at David and Victoria. And remember, treat women with respect, or they'll leave. They left the apartment. Anna felt her whole body trembling. She didn't know what awaited her ahead, but she knew one thing. She wasn't alone anymore. Her mother was with her. As they descended and stepped outside, Anna took a deep breath of fresh air. It felt like she was breathing fully for the first time in ages. They got into Rebecca's car. Anna buckled the baby into the car seat and closed her eyes. She felt exhaustion and relief at once. On the way to Rebecca's house, Anna stayed silent. She looked out the window, watching the passing landscapes. It felt like she was leaving not just David and Victoria's apartment, but her entire past life. When they arrived at Rebecca's house, Anna saw a cozy, bright home with a small garden waiting. Warm light glowed in the windows. This house seemed like an oasis in the desert. Rebecca helped Anna unload the things and the baby from the car. They entered the house. Silence and peace reigned inside. It smelled of fresh baking and herbs. Anna felt the tension gradually leaving her body. Rebecca laid the baby in the crib and sat Anna on the soft couch. Rest, sweetheart, Rebecca said. Everything will be fine. Anna looked at her mother and smiled. For the first time in a long while, she felt safe. She lay on the couch and closed her eyes. Exhaustion overtook her. She sank into a deep, peaceful sleep. When Anna woke up, the house was quiet. She glanced at the clock. It was already morning. She felt rested and refreshed. She got up from the couch and went to the kitchen. Rebecca was bustling at the stove preparing breakfast. Good morning, Anna said. Good morning, sweetheart, Rebecca replied, smiling. How did you sleep? Well, Anna answered. Thank you, Mom. Rebecca set a plate of hot porridge and a cup of fragrant tea in front of her. Eat. Build your strength, Rebecca said. You need it now. Anna started eating. It felt like she'd never tasted anything so delicious in her life. After breakfast, Rebecca suggested Anna take a shower and change into comfortable clothes. Anna gladly agreed. After the shower, she felt even better. She put on a soft robe and went to the living room. Rebecca sat in an armchair, knitting. Beside her, the baby slept peacefully in the crib. Anna sat next to her mother. Mom, I don't know what I'd do without you, Anna said. I'll always be here, sweetheart, Rebecca replied. You're not alone. Anna hugged her mother. She felt so happy and grateful. At that moment, the baby woke up and started crying. Anna picked him up and held him close. She felt a surge of maternal love. She looked at her mother and smiled. Everything will be fine, Anna said. I know. Rebecca smiled back. Anna held her child in her arms and looked at his little face. She knew many difficulties lay ahead, but she also knew she'd manage because she wasn't alone anymore. She had her mother, and she had her child. And that's what mattered most. Silence, peace, the start of a new life.